name is Pam. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a brief video on how I sew this Barbie doll dress. And I also make it so it will fit on a HairAmazing doll. She has a little bit larger hips, so I have to make it a little bit bigger. Okay, so it's super simple. You just cut a piece of knit fabric. I cut it 3.5 inches wide by about 15 inches long. You can do it longer or shorter depending on how long you want your dress. But this is it. It's a strip of stretchy fabric. The reason we use knit is because it helps to put it on the doll without having to use buttons or Velcro or anything like that. And also this knit fabric won't fray, so we don't have to worry about hems and so forth. So the first thing you do is at the folded edge right here, you measure down 1 inch and make a little mark, hoping that you can see it here. There's a little mark here and a little mark here. And then you're going to fold it in half. So I folded it in half, and I'm just right where all these folds meet, I'm just going to snip just a little bit off. That's the neckline. Then on one side, either side, I'm going to cut a little, I don't know, little strip, whatever, to make it easier to put it on the doll. So I've cut it down about 1 inch, 1.5 inches. And you can see that right here where I've cut it. And I have that in the back. So once you've done that, it'll look like this. Then all you have to do is sew these seams, and you stop at that mark that is 1 inch from the fold. And then you sew up the other side seam. And that's all there's to it. Simple as that. What I've done here is I've taken a hair pretty and used that to sort of cinch the waist on it. But you can take like leftover scraps of the knit fabric and stretch it out, and it could be a belt that you could wear around there. So I hope this makes sense to you on how to sew that. It's quite simple. I don't remember where I got the pattern from. And if you're making it for a Barbie doll, you could probably make it only 3 inches wide, but it just depends on how hippie she is. Okay, so the other thing I was going to do is show you how to make these little dresses for these baby dolls. They have snaps at the shoulder. And they're actually reversible. You can turn it around and it crosses over and snaps at the shoulders. And this fits the Dollar Tree doll. And this also fits the one I got. I think I got this from Dollar General. I just put it on over her outfit so you could see. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I make those. I got this pattern on a Facebook group called Operation Christmas Child Sew/Craft Ideas. And the designer is Laura Young Zink. So that's the Facebook page. And when you print up the pattern, it'll come out like this. And if this measures 1 inch, then you've printed it correctly. And it's under their files section. It's called the Family Dollar Doll Larger Dress. However, for me, I have actually taken and made the pattern a little bit bigger. I've extended the arms a little bit, the shoulders rather, and actually I've extended the width a little bit. So my pattern is actually just a little bit bigger. It seems to work out for me. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take this pattern piece and you're going to place it on the fold of fabric and then cut this out. And when you do, it's going to look like this. This is tricky to hold up. It'll look like that. And you're going to cut 2 of them out. And you're going to put them right sides together and pin them. Then, oh, also, I forgot to mention, when I cut out my pattern, this is where the opening is for turning the fabric around. I make a little bit of a chimney right here because this seam is going to be very narrow and it's really hard to turn under a narrow seam. So this is the point where you're going to turn it under and it'll be a little bit thicker seam right there. So you're going to sew here, and so forth. I'll explain that later. So anyways, I think, okay, good, you can see. So this is what it looks like. There's 2 pieces, right sides together, and I like to take and start stitching right here. This is where the chimney is. And I'm going to stitch all the way around at less than 1/4 of an inch, like a scant 1/4 of an inch seam. And I'm going to stop right here by this chimney. Then I'm going to start sewing again at the other side of this opening and stitch here, pivot, go across, pivot, stitch around, pivot, pivot, stitch around, pivot, pivot, stitch around, pivot, pivot, and stop right at this chimney. And you got to be really careful in this area right here. You're probably going to need to lift your presser foot up and to get this angle right. And same here. So after this is all stitched around, you haven't stitched right here where the 2 chimneys are, right? Ouch. There's a pin there. So this one shows, I don't know how well you can see this, but I have already done this stitching all the way around. Then what you do is you want to clip the points right here. And then you want to put little clips right here in the curves because that's going to make it easier to turn it around. Don't get into the stitching though. And right here on these curves, you can either use a one of those scissors that does a zigzag, and I can't think of the name of the scissors. That's pinking shears. Or you can clip it. So then you're going to turn it around, and you turn it through these openings here, through these channels. And I've got this nifty tool. It's a hemostat, which helps me reach in here. Hope this is coming out okay. And I'm going to grab a hold of that one shoulder and pull that through. It's not necessary to have this, but it makes it easier. And I'm going to grab a hold of this shoulder and pull that through. I like pulling these shoulders through first. Just makes it a little bit easier. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the same on this side. So anyways, then you can continue to pull this whole thing through until you have the right sides on the outside. We'll see if we can't do this real quick. I don't know if this is turning out. Then you're going to want to take something like maybe a crochet hook or something that's not sharp. And you're going to want to push all these corners and all these shoulders and all this stuff out. And I'm not gonna do that right now because it's gonna take up too much time. So anyways, once you've got it all pushed out, it's gonna look like that. Then you're gonna tuck in those channels, and I have already done the top stitching around here. So the next thing we're gonna do is put on the cam snaps. And I got this set many years ago. It's just a handheld one. So it's pretty easy to do. I thought I would just show how you do this. Take one of these dresses off here to give you a visual. Oh, here's a dress. So the way this is, these two right here are opposite of the outer shoulders. So here I've got the flat side on this side, and over here the flat side is on the back. That's so that they can cross over and snap. And it doesn't matter which side you want to be the right side and which side you want to be the wrong side. They're reversible, so it's no big deal. So what I'm going to do, first thing I'm going to do is take this long shoulder here. I'm going to poke a hole about, I would say less than ½ inch down. I'm going to poke a hole right through there. And then I'm going to take this part of the cam snap. That it looks like it's got a little pokey thing sticking out. And I'm going to put that through the hole. Push it through so it's sticking out. I thought this video was going to be short. Haha. Then I'm going to take, actually I should say the snaps have, this is the part that sticks out. It's called the male part. And then the part that goes in is called the female part. So I'm going to stick this male part right on there. Going to kind of push it through, hold it in place. I hope that you can see that okay. Then I'm going to take my tool here, and this black part is, it's sort of a little bit of a concave, and I'm going to position this, the flat part of the snap, right in that black concave part, and the part that sticks out is right there on top. Then I'm going to squish this as hard as I can, and that snap is in. Now over here, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to punch a hole in the fabric. Only this time, we want the flat part on this side. And the little pokey thing is coming through. You probably can't see that with pink on pink. I didn't think about that. And I'm going to put one of the female ones in there. The female one kind of looks like a button. And sort of, it's kind of like got a glossy side. That's the part that sticks out. That's the right side. And again, I'm going to take the smooth part of the snap and put it in the black part of this tool. And it just kind of sinks right in there with no problem. And then take and squeeze it slowly. Don't try to do it real fast. Because if you get out of alignment, it won't snap. So I'll do one, I'll do another one. So I've poked a hole there. I'm going to put this little piece right here that kind of looks like a little thumbtack, actually. I'm going to put that in the hole and push it through the hole. And then I'm going to take another one of the female parts. Again, this kind of looks like a button, but it's only got one hole. And the ring right here is kind of glossy. I'm mentioning all these things because sometimes it's hard to tell. So I'm going to put the flat part on the black. squeeze. And we've got one more left to do. Poke that hole. And now this time, we're back to this way, so we're going to put the smooth part on the pink side, that little thumbtack part. And then this is the male part. It kind of sticks out a little bit. And we're going to squeeze that on there. I'm not sure how well you're seeing this. I sure hope. And again, I'm going to put the smooth part down on the black. And I'm going to squeeze slowly but firmly. If you do mess up, you can remove this, but it's really hard to remove. I've done it with a screwdriver before. So I'm going to put that on this side and then take this end and turn it around and snap that together. And there she goes. She has her dress. And of course, it can easily be reversed. Okay, I hope that helped. And thank you for watching. Bye-bye. I just wanted to show that this one's finally turned around. And see, here's this little chibbity where the opening is. And that just really wants to fold right back in there to give you a smooth edge. And then there's one on this side too. And because it is bigger, it's easier to work with. So that'll really help. Now I would give this a good press before I top stitch it. And then that's all there's to it. And this tool is really cool for poking out the edges without poking through. I got it from a company called SewSweetness.com. But like I say, if you wanted to use a crochet hook or something that's not a pokey end. This has got like a little round ball at the end, and I use this for tons of stuff. Okay, thanks, bye.